Let's talk a little bit today about the way that the R word is making its way back into society. We had thrown that word away because we should have, because that's progress, right? That means that we feel like making fun of people who are intellectually disabled is disgusting, and making fun of people by comparing them to people with intellectual disabilities is disgusting. But here it is, popping its way out of this disgusting administration from the top levels. We have Elon Musk, who is unelected, but at the top level of our government somehow, just dropping the R word left, right, and center. He does not care. And not really facing any pushback that I've seen from people for doing it. I blame the fact that we started allowing people to say the word libtard. And I think libtard was a slippery slope. Once that became normalized, that you would call somebody that, it's only a few steps off to jumping off the cliff of just making it normal to say the R word again. Where does that go? I mean, that only goes to a bad place. And we've seen that because of eugenics, right? We watched not to bring back the Nazis again, but we saw that with the Nazi regime. They targeted people who were disabled, and, you eliminate them. And if you're in an authoritarian regime, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are very concerned with people's genes. So I know all these free-thinking guys out here that'll be in, all these comments. They don't want to look at what this means. Like, oh, they just said one word or whatever. But the implication is that this leads to things, right? And you have to be able to understand that all bad things start someplace. And bad things are starting right now with the normalization of using slurs against people with disabilities, or, comparing people to people with disabilities as a way to embarrass or humiliate them. That's a bad sign. We can talk about how Maye Musk, who did not raise her child, right, is using that word all over the place, the R word. And she thinks it's cute. And COVERGIRL has her as like her oldest spokesmodel. And oh boy, she's so beautiful. We should all want to be like Maye Musk. But there is not enough makeup in all of COVERGIRL to cover up the ugliness of using the R word, using a slur against people with intellectual disabilities. You don't have to have a kid with Down syndrome to be upset about this. And we can push back against COVERGIRL, and I think we should. And I want you all, here's some homework for all of us, to start paying attention to where they're normalizing slurs. We have Nancy Mace on the floor of Congress just screaming transgender slurs over and over and over again on the record. What did she face for that? You don't have to love somebody who's transgender to find that offensive. Start paying attention, because I'm telling you what, they are this close to start saying the N-word in public. I mean, they're already working on things to try and lead us towards segregation, so why wouldn't they use the N-word in public? Why wouldn't they when they could say the R word and nobody cared? And why wouldn't they when they can make transgender slurs and nobody cares? Then what's next? Ask yourself that and pay attention to what's going on around you with that. Push back. Don't let somebody use that language, because language is a powerful tool. It can be a weapon, and we can stop it in its tracks now.